Hey, what's up guys? So today I'm going to be helping you guys make your deck or kind of improve your deck depending on where you're at. And that said, I get messaged all the time and people ask me, hey, what do you think of this deck? Do you think this deck's good? The thing is, everyone plays differently. I can't really gauge what cards you're playing as far as, where you are as a player and as far as, how you play the game, how you understand which cards to activate at the right times. But that said, I'm going to try to help you guys kind of understand the thought process in making a deck, as well as, just cards that should be in most decks. Now, these cards above will pretty much be seen in 80% of the decks that, I see play in the meta. That said, don't be discouraged if you don't have any of these. You can definitely still play some Yu-Gi-Ohs without some of these cards. But if you're playing on Dueling Network, hey, you have access to everything. That said, let's get started, and I'll kind of explain my thought process as we go along as far as making a deck. So first off, these cards above right here, basically, these are going to be cards that you should want to play in regardless of what deck you're playing, unless you're playing something, again, that's like, Exodia, you might not want to play, like the Solemns and stuff like that. But pretty much in most decks you'll be playing these. So that said, be like Dark Hole, Heavy Storm, Monster Reborn. These three, it's pretty much unarguable, like those are cards that you want to play. And then depending on your deck, you could probably throw 1 or 2 Space Typhoons, 3 if you really need it, and then the Solemn Brigade. That's pretty much standard. I would say those cards are standard. Now let's go into thought process as far as building a deck. So we're going to take an older deck here. So we'll just look at zombies. So first, what I would recommend is to check out the zombies that you have access to. So just go ahead and type in whatever archetype. Maybe if you're playing Lightsworn, type in Lightsworn and see what pops up. And then what you can do is you probably want, so for example, we're going to go for monsters right here. So we'll go for effect because unless you're playing like Rescue Rabbit, you probably don't want the normal monsters anyway. So on Duel Network, you can just go to effect and then depending on the levels, like maybe you want to only play like a zombie beatdown. Maybe you don't want like you want level 4s only, and I don't know. Depending on what you want as far as levels, so you can make it so you only want what is it? Actually, we gotta put 4 on this side. You want 4 and lower. So basically, most of the time, unless it's like a tribute monster and you have access to that, you probably don't want monsters that are too high of a level, unless they can be special summoned by just like having a certain amount of lights or darks, like Black Level Soldier or something like that. So for now, let's just keep it at nothing, because we don't know what high level zombies there are that actually see any play. So first, I would recommend you to check out all of the monsters' effects. Now I know that Goblin Zombie is pretty good. So depending on the playstyle of your deck, maybe I want to throw 2 Goblin Zombies in there. And I'll look at Molten Zombie. So when this card is special summoned from the graveyard, the controller of this card draws 1 card. Well, I don't think that I'll be using that. I mean, I know you can use Mizuki, which is another zombie. And you can also, instead of going where it says name, you can type in zombie in the description, and you can kind of check out some other stuff through that. But this card, it's not bad. I wouldn't say it's good, because I know for a fact I want to play Dark Armed in it, and he has fire. And, I mean, this card, it just realistically doesn't seem bad. Because if I bring it back with Zombie Master, yeah, I can draw a card. That's really not that bad. And the thing is, though, it does allow me to exceed with it, too. So, that's realistically not that bad of a card, but I don't think I really want it. Not for my playstyle. Next up, the next zombie is Plague Spreader Zombie. Now, I actually know what this one does, so it's used for synchros most of the time. So you can return 1 card from your hand to the top of the deck to special summon this card from your graveyard. When you do, remove this card from play when it is removed from the field. So, off the top of my head, I know there's this card called Shootin' Doji, there's Burrow from a different dimension. The thing is, I know a lot of cards, so, depending on how long you've played this game, maybe you know certain cards that combo well with other cards. So, for zombies, I know that Plague Spreader Zombie is good. Next up, we're going to look at Reborn Zombie. So, while you have no cards in your hand, and this card is in attack position, it cannot be destroyed by battle. Okay, well, he's only got 1,000 attack and 1,600 defense. Not that good in my opinion, so I think I'll pass on him. This is Red Eyes Zombie Dragon, and I know I can get him out with Book of Life, because again, I know zombies a little bit. You can choose summon by triggering 1 zombie monster. Okay, that's pretty good. When it destroys a zombie type monster by battle and sent to the graveyard, you can special summon that monster to your side of the field. Well, I know that there's a card called Zombie World that will combo with as well, but I don't really like this card. It is a tribute, and I'd rather tribute for another card, which I will get into later. Now we have Return Zombie. During your standby phase, if this card is in your graveyard and you have no cards in your hand, you can pay 500 life points to add this card to your hand. Well, I'm probably going to have cards in my hand, so I don't think I'll play him. Zombie Mammoth. So, destroy this card if you do not have another zombie type monster in your graveyard. When this card face up is destroyed, inflict damage to its controller equal to its original attack. Well, I wish it did damage to the opponent, so I don't think I actually want that card. Now, next up, Zombie Master. So once per turn, I can send one monster card from my hand to the graveyard, then target one level 4 or lower zombie type monster in either player's graveyard. Special summon that target. This card must be, and of course it has to be face up to resolve the effect. Okay, so that said, I think this card is pretty good. You know, I could throw in one of these. You know, it seems like a pretty decent card. Next up, Zombie Tiger. Actually, I haven't seen this. It's a Union. 1400 increases. Okay, let's read the whole thing. Okay, so once per turn during your main phase, if you control this card on the field, you can equip it to a Decayed Commander. I don't play Decayed Commander, so I probably won't even want to bother with that. So we won't even check out the effect. If it requires a card that's like I don't even play, then I'm not going to even bother checking it out. So next up, so I can go into description and I can type in zombie. Now this is the best part about Dueling Network. This really helps you out as far as making a deck. Let's see. So there is Beast of the Pharaoh. If this card is sent to the graveyard for a synchro summon, you can special summon one level 4 or lower zombie type monster from your graveyard. Hey, that's not too bad. But the thing is, that does use my normal summon, and I still have to special summon another monster essentially. Yeah, I could use Book of Light, Call of the Haunted, and all that good stuff. But realistically, he's not that good early on. I don't think I'd play him. But if I was going to play him, maybe I'd just play like one of them. Now this card was good when Exceeding Materials got their effects when they were detached on from the field, but unfortunately they don't. I'm not going to bother reading mostly because there's too many that I don't really want to go over. But let's just, I know that Mizuki is good. Thing is, like, I do know Zombie a little bit, but again, check out all the monsters you have available. There's 2 pages here. Sometimes you might have multiple pages that you'll have to go through for different archetypes and different decks. But that said, just check them all out. That's really the best way to really find out what cards you like or not. And then I'm going to go to the next page and see if there's anything else that I actually know. Vampire Genesis. I think that was a structure deck card. That said, I know that this card is actually pretty decent in here as well. So when this card is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, you can special summon one zombie monster with 2,000 or less defense. So that's pretty good. Unfortunately, he is Earth, but that's not that big of a deal. So now that I've got you know, some zombies in there. There's also Shootin' Doji, which I don't think is a bad card. I think it's an okay card. But yeah, I don't want to read all of these cards, but if you are making a deck and whatever you're looking for your description, you can type in zombie. Now I can type in spells here and keep it so it says zombie, and then it'll show me kind of support cards for zombies. Now, off the top of my head, I know that Book of Life is good. Hey, I'll play one Book of Life. That card's pretty good. It's like kind of like a Monster Reborn. But the thing is, you do have to banish one monster in your opponent's graveyard. That is part of the requirement, so, you know, it might not be good to run too many Book of Lives. Maybe you could play 2, but I think 1, you know, that's enough for me. Now I could go to traps, and let's see if there's any good traps for zombies. Okay, there is Trap of the Imperial Tomb. Actually, I haven't seen any of these, so I'll check these out. So when a zombie-type monster is special summoned to your opponent's graveyard to your side, I feel destroy 2. Oh, that's actually a pretty good card, but I don't think I'll be playing that. Next up, Tootin' Mass. Negate the activation of a spell or trap card that targets one face-up zombie-type monster. Oh. Not really interested in that. And then Dome of the Spirit he's a trap monster. I do know that. So you can kind of get an idea now of how the process of a deck kind of works. Now, off the top of my head, I know that I do like Caius. Caius is a really good card. How do you? I don't. C-A-I or is it C? Is that how? Can't spell Caius. Shadow Monarch. Oh, that's because we're looking in trap. See, I had it right the first time. Alright, so I know Caius is pretty good because now thinking of a card like Pyramid Turtle, I can set my Pyramid Turtle. Once it's destroyed, I can go for something like Goblin Zombie. Now, I can tribute Goblin Zombie for Caius the Shadow Monarch. Caius would then get its effect. And then on top of that, I would get Goblin Zombie's effect. So that would allow me to add one zombie type monster with 1,200 or less defense from my deck to my hand. So you know what? I think Caius is really good. I'll play 2 Caius. Since a lot of my monsters that are decent, like this card's decent, these cards are pretty good too, then they have relatively low attack. That means I can play Sangan. I think Sangan would be a great addition to this deck. And now I'm thinking, do I want to play Tour Guide? Well, I like Tour Guide. I think Tour Guide's a great card. Maybe you don't like Tour Guide? Hey, that's cool too. I think Birdman's a great card that can work well in this deck because if I can special summon like something like I can just special summon Plague Spreader, I can return Plague Spreader to my hand, and then actually I could not do that if I special summon Plague Spreader because Plague Spreader would get banished, and Birdman has to actually return the card to hand. So maybe if I go Zombie Master into let's see, what can I do? I could do a Mizuki into a card, and I can bounce that card back to my hand. I don't know what card I want, but you know, just good for options. I think options are good in decks. So yeah, I think Birdman wouldn't be bad in here because it just can open up combos. Because Primitive Turtle could you know, get back a Mizuki. I could bounce back that Mizuki to my hand, and then I could summon Zombie Master, and then I could use Zombie Master's effect to discard Mizuki, and then special summon another zombie from my graveyard. And if I have multiple cards in the graveyard, I can combo well off of that. So that'd be a much better example of Birdman using it more effectively in this deck. So yeah, I think Birdman's good. Let's see, what else do I want to play? I think I want to play more traps. So let's go with Bottomless. I think Bottomless is a good trap card in this format. What other cards do you think would be good? Let's see. Well, Goblin Zombie gets his effect whenever he is sent from the field to the graveyard. So that means if I synchro with it, or if it just gets destroyed. So I can play Torrential Tribute. So we'll go ahead and get Torrential Tributes. I think that's a pretty decent card. What else do you think I would need in this deck? Let's go to A so we can sort. Because over here it'll tell you, 25 cards so far, so we need 15 more cards. I think Tragodia is a relatively good card. So we'll go to Tragodia and we can add him in. And it looks like I have a bunch of darks, so you should probably play Allure of Darkness. And since we are playing tons of darks, hey, Dark Arm, that's a good card. Actually, I probably should have typed in dark. Is it 2 words? Yeah, okay. 3 words. Okay, so Dark Arm would be, you know, a good card to run. Oh, I should probably play Gorz. Gorz is always a good card. I like that card. Do I want to play some hand traps? What decks do I not like to play against? I don't know, when I'm setting a lot of stuff, I mean, some other decks can go really aggressive on me. Maybe I want to play some Effect Bailers. Hey, let's throw some, maybe 2 Effect Bailers. Let's go with double Maxi, because that's kind of standard. A lot of players do like this. Maybe you don't like them. Hey, you don't have to put them in. By all means, go with your playstyle. Go with what you feel more comfortable with playing. Now we're at 34. We need 6 more cards. Let's see, what other cards are good that I personally like? I think we could run another Space Typhoon because, you know, I think that, you know, this deck has potential to OTK. If your deck has potential to OTK, hey, that's pretty good. Next up, let's see how many tuners we got. We got 3 right here. I mean, there's always XYZ monsters, so that's always an option for me. Oh, Plug Spreader also is a tuner. Maybe I want to play Mind Control. I think, hey, 4 cards as tuners is enough, especially since I can add Plug Spreader really fast with something like Goblin Zombie. Another card, actually, Mystic Tomato. Which one do we want? We want this one. Okay, let's go with Mystic Tomato. Because Mystic Tomato can actually get me Goblin Zombie, it can get me Sangan, it can get me Plug Spreader. Like, there's a lot of things that Mystic Tomato can get. It can even get Birdman if I want to do so. So I think Mystic Tomato would be, you know, an okay card at 1. Now, let's see, what else would be good in here? I think, you know, let's just throw in, like, a Lance. I like this card. This is kind of one of my favorite cards. I think a Lance is pretty good. What else would be good in here? We can go with, like, a Compulse. Let's just check this deck out. And then we can go with a Creature Swap. So, if we do Creature Swap, if you guys remember, Goblin Zombie doesn't have to be sent from your side of the field. When this card is sent from the field, so it doesn't matter who controls it. So maybe my opponent controls a really big monster, and I'll be like, oh, it's cool. I'll give you Goblin Zombie. I'll take your larger monster. I can take, you know, or Judgment Dragon, and then I could attack into my own Goblin Zombie, and then I would get my Goblin Zombie's effect, because it doesn't have to be sent from my side of the field, just the side of the field. Let's look at other options in here. Since I do like a lot of stuff in the graveyard, hey, that's good. Maybe I can play Card Trooper. Oh, Troop. Where's... Oh. I think that's it. Card Trooper. Okay, there's Card Trooper. So yeah, I could go for some mill. Maybe I want to send, like, Mizuki to the grave. And let's see, I have 2 lights. Is that enough to run BLS? Well, if it was me, I'd probably do it, but that's because I just love BLS. That card is a win condition in itself. But that said, you know, maybe you don't want to play that. Hey, that's totally cool too. Maybe I do want to play BLS. Maybe let's say, you know, I really want to play Black Luster Soldier. I can take out some of my other monsters. Let's see, I do like. Let's go play Luster Soldier. So we'll grab him, and then maybe we want more lights. Thunder King. But keep in mind, Thunder King will shut down your Goblin Zombie searchers. So I'll just type in Rye. I don't think that. Oh, there's a lot of cards. I think it's -Rye-O. Is that how it is? Yeah. Okay. So there we go. We got double Thunder King, 2 Veilers. Maybe I can bump if I feel like I need more light targets. Hey, maybe I'll take out, you know, another card. Maybe I don't really want Mystic Tomato. I'll just be like, add another Thunder King or add another Effect Veiler. There's so many options you can really do. And as far as the extra deck, you really gotta decide, you know, for yourself. Check out everything. I mean, I've went through most of these, so if you just go to Monster, and then, like, Dueling Network really has all these great options for you. So, I want to go for Exceed monsters. And so, looking at my monsters, I can see I have a lot of 4. So, let's go check out the rank 4s. These aren't actually levels. Let's go check out the rank 4s. Now, some of them just require 2 level 4 monsters. Hey, I'll just throw that in. And then some of these require Spellcaster type. Well, I'm looking at my deck right now, and the only Spellcaster I think I have in this deck is actually going to be Effect Veiler. And Effect Veiler is not level 4, so I probably don't want to play this. But if it requires, like, let's say, for example, this is just a quick example. X-Saber Hyunlei. So this requires 1 tuner plus 1 or more non-tuner X-Saber monsters. Now maybe I can Monster Reborn my opponent's monster and still make Hyunlei. Hey, if I have extra room in my extra deck, and you know, a lot of people at my locals play Hyunlei, or they play X-Sabers, I'll have the option potentially to actually make that card. Even though I don't have the card in my deck, I can still Monster Reborn. Another thing would be, like, maybe if I played with 0 tuners in my deck, I would still want to play Catastor, just because I can Monster Reborn someone else's Effect Veiler or someone else's tuner, and I could still make cards in my extra deck because, you know, it's not a card in your main deck. So that said, I hope this helps you get a better understanding of, you know, kind of the thought process when I build a deck, because a lot of you guys ask me, hey, here's my deck, what do you think of it? Well, the thing is, I don't know, you know, how you play, I don't know, you know, what your skill level is. And so it's really hard for me to kind of tell you what you should run and what you shouldn't run, because if I tell you to run a card, maybe you've never really played the card and you don't understand how to use it properly. And if you don't know how to use a card properly, it really can hurt, because when I started Yu-Gi-Oh! Long time ago, I thought Cold Wave was awful. I was like, if you activate Cold Wave, you can't activate anything. And that card was amazing. Like, that card... Like, if I really understood how that card worked, oh my gosh, I'd play 3. In fact, hardly anyone actually played Cold Wave at 3 when it was at 3. But then, it went to 1, and then everyone played it, and then it got banned. But yeah, it's just like cards like that, where, you know, not a lot of people use them, and then once it starts to get popular, everyone plays it, because they actually understand how to play it properly. The same thing kind of happened with Book of Moon. The card was at 3, and then once it went to 1, everyone wanted to play it when it was at 1. But when it was at 3, people played 2. Like, no one really... I mean, some people played 3, but the thing is, you have to know how to use the card properly. And when you know how to use the card properly when it was at 3, it's much more effective, because if you can really can take full advantage over the game mechanics, and, you know, you can use that card effectively, that's really where you can make the most use out of, you know, cards that you already like. So what I really suggest for you guys to do is play cards that you are comfortable with playing. And then, like at the very beginning of the video, how I had, like, Dark Hole, I would really recommend you guys to play Dark Hole, Heavy Storm, Monster Reborn. That should be a no-brainer. But for some people, they've sent me, like, deck pro. I was like, hey, what do you think of this deck? And they won't have these. And I'm like, well, your win condition isn't like Exodia or something. Well, why don't you play like Heavy Storm or Monster Reborn or Dark Hole? These are pretty good cards in the game. But that said, you know, maybe... If you don't like Dark Hole, I really don't understand how you wouldn't like Dark Hole, but hey, I'm not going to pressure you into forcing you to play Dark Hole, but I will just highly recommend it. You know, it's a pretty good card. But if you're playing Light Sworns, like I've said previously when I played Light Sworns, I don't feel that Dark Hole is necessary. Judgment Dragon gets the job done, because you can't Dark Hole and summon a good monster other than, like, Judgment Dragon. That's like your big monster. That's like pretty much like your only card that can actually, like, put any threat to your opponent. But that said, yeah, I hope this helps you, you know, understand kind of the deck mechanics of Yu-Gi-Oh! When you're building a deck. Definitely just use the search tool to help you if you're playing, like, Monarchs. Maybe you, let's see if there's any description. Is that how you spell Monarch? Okay, so I guess there's nothing that has a description of Monarch. But let's say you're playing Lightsworn, and you don't know what support Lightsworn has. Here's all the Lightsworn monsters. Actually, that's a very few amount. But look, there's all these other cards that have Lightsworn in as, like, you know, a text in the card, so you can check those cards out. But honestly, in Lightsworns, most of the support is actually pretty bad. So, like, stuff like Glowshit's not bad. What's this one? Yeah, this card is not very good. Realm of Life is actually not very good. Vanquishing Light is actually an awful card, because there's actually a card called Horn of Heaven, which completely outclasses this card because you can tribute any monster, and it negates the summon of a monster. Basically the same thing, but it only requires any monster. So there are cards that like outclass, meaning it's better in pretty much every form, other than I guess the artwork, because this artwork's pretty awesome. But that said, yeah, use the description to definitely help you out. Check out the card. Make sure you probably want like effects, but if you want normal monsters, if you're playing Rescue Rabbit, hey, that's available for you. There's all these options on Duel Network, like type. Maybe you're making a fish deck, and maybe you want union fishes. Is there any? I'm just curious. No, there's not. Yeah, I didn't think there was. Is there any fish spirits? No, there's not. Is there any? I don't think there's like hardly any toon monsters. Let's see how many toon monsters there are. Well, that's kind of sad. Maybe, actually, it'd be cool to see toon actually get more support in the future. But yeah, that said, regardless of what deck you're playing, you could be playing some crazy deck. Use the tools on the Dueling Network to just kind of check out the cards that are available. Maybe you've never heard of some cards. Like sometimes I've seen some cards, I'm like, hey, that card's not bad. I'm gonna be, just trying that card out just to see how well it would do. Even if it's not meta, hey, just try it out. If you don't like it, hey, you can take it out then. Also, another suggestion, real quick, is a lot of people are like, what should I take out in this deck? And the thing is, look at when you lose the game, what cards do you have in your hand? Potentially, if you have double of certain cards in your hand and you're constantly losing with multiple cards in your hand, maybe you want to bump that card down to 1. Maybe you're drawing it too often and you're not using it to its potential, or you have your hand clogged up by that card. So yeah, you can also do that to gauge and decide for yourself what you would rather do. So yeah, I hope this helps you guys out, because a lot of you guys message me and you're like, hey, what do you think of this deck? And I'm like, well, I don't know your playstyle. And I mean, I have a lot of deck profiles up on my channel for a lot of the meta decks. But yeah, you don't have to be playing meta. You can play something crazy like Oppress People OTK. Hey, maybe someone will pull it off eventually. But anyways, thanks for watching. I hope this helps you guys out. Asian White Dragon, signing out.